Hey, Biff. It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another review on Sweet Life, okay? Season 2. Let's go ahead and wrap up the last few episodes, okay? I'm not going to be talking about everything, girl, but I'm really just going to talk about a lot of the stuff that I care to talk about. You feel what I'm saying? So, Candace. First of all, Candace is a beautiful young girl. Okay, she is so beautiful to me. And let me tell y'all something. Candace has really shown up as a completely different person this season than she did last season when we got that short little snippet of her. And that short little snippet of her showing her ass was enough for me to not want to see her on the show again. But I am glad that they gave her the opportunity to come back on and kind of let us more into her life a little bit and give us a little bit of her personality and definitely her beauty. I absolutely love her smile. Super cute girl. Anyway, glad she's there. Okay, now let's talk about her boo, Katelyn. Because Katelyn and Jaylen, they both want children, but they don't want to marry the women that they with. The commitments is not making sense for me. Okay, now Tylen does take Jaylen to therapy, whereas Candace just took Katelyn to the gym for them to sit down and have a conversation. And we talked about that previously with the sit down between Jaylen and Tylen and how she pretty much went through a lot of stuff by herself once she ended up, I guess like aborting the twins or whatnot that she was pregnant with. She didn't hear from him. She felt like she was alone and stuff. What was interesting was him saying that what brought them back together was seeing Tylen get on her SHI. When you say stuff like that, Jaylen, it furthermore makes me think that Tylen is too good for you and that you ain't really got shit else going on and that you ain't really got no job and that Miss Tylen is the one that's holding everybody down. You feel what I'm saying? So then it does make me wonder, do you really, really love her for real? Or do you just love her because she was the one that was there when you ain't have SHI? Like, I don't know, something about it. And not that shit has to be like a bad thing that you love her because of that, but it's giving not so genuine to me. But let me scoot over, girl. Anyway, so like I said, Candace took Katelyn to the gym and she talks about him and the fact that he wants kids or whatever, but ultimately she wants to be married at the end of the day before they really embark on having a family. So he tells her he knows what he wants and he knows that he wants to be with her and have kids with her, later on down the line. All right. So with that, because he's been with her for so many years, he knows that that's something that he wants. Okay, so she asks them, why don't they go ahead and make steps towards getting married? And he says it's because they have things that they still need to work on before they go down that lane. And I said, you sound so stupid. Y'all got things that y'all need to work on before you go down that lane, but you want to have a whole child with her. Do you know how far down the lane that is? That's well over the amount that you're gonna spend on a wedding or anything, okay, taking care of a child. But I guess, honey, but either way, like, it's just stupid. You're willing to make that commitment to her, to be tied to her forever by impregnating her, but you're not willing to marry her. It's giving, I'm not ready to get married at all. I want you to follow me on that and understand that that's not what I want, but I'm afraid that you may leave me because you want more than what it is that I want. So I feel like the best way to keep you is for me to go ahead and get you pregnant, so I'll always have you as a part of my life. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, I don't necessarily like that. Miss Candace, girl, you might want to run. You might want to run. It may take you a little bit of time, a little bit of periodically time. I think y'all been together for 4 years. So how much longer do you want to be with this man before he actually makes the decision to fully commit to you? Y'all got businesses and everything together. Now, I know history keeps people there longer than what they need to, but a lot of time history don't mean SHI if that person's not showing you what it is that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Or you feel that you deserve or you feel that you need. You probably could meet somebody in a short amount of time that got, that mean more well for you than the person that you've been knowing for years. That's just what I'm saying. But girl, let me go ahead and scoot off, girl. Do what you want to do because you're going to do that anyway because that's just how you is, okay? He going to sit up there and ask this girl why she trying to switch stuff up after 4 years. Sir, why are you not trying to switch anything up after 4 years? Where is the growth? Okay? So she tells him that she can't afford to have a child without being married, and it's just that simple. And I was with her on that. So then Kylie, he over there feeding this girl BS the whole time, saying that they have other issues that they need to address. Meanwhile, she's the one in therapy, and how I took the conversation, he's the one that's not in therapy trying to get and work on his issues and the stuff he got going on. Then tells her that if they don't fix the issues, it could be detrimental to, I guess, their relationship at a later time. Well, with all of the things that you're saying, trying to manipulate her, why would you want to move forward to have a child with her if y'all don't have said issues already worked out? You sound stupid as hell. And then tells her he thinks she's being influenced by her friends and their relationships, and she doesn't want he doesn't want her to put that in on him. right? So whether she's being influenced or not, maybe all of her friends have just come to the same place at the same time. They all around the same age, getting ready to go into their 30s, they in their late 20s. So now they're ready to settle down and actually start a family. That's a common thing for a lot of people at that age. I'm a little confused that you still trying to be out here hanging out and being in the streets and doing what you want to do. I mean, he probably not cheating on her or anything, but if you know that's who you want to be with for the rest of your life and you have no intent on changing that, then why not be committed to her in that fashion and actually, start a family and do things the right way? At least, what I would think is the right way. But anyway, do what you want to do, honey. Y'all gonna do that anyway. So we get to the Mexico trip, right? Now at dinner, Tyler asked Jerrold how he was doing, only for her to go on and give an apology to Bri for messing up her event, but not giving an apology to Jerrold. Why is you asking Jerrold how he doing, only for you to throw in his face, here is yet another time that I'm not going to be apologizing to you? Like, that's some messed up stuff, and these are the reasons why I cannot get with Thailand. Okay, it's definitely giving BIT energy and not the boss one. Okay, now Robb with two B's instead of being called Jerrold Mr. Sociopath, because Jerrold was up there talking about Cheryl not being there, and Myami was like, oh yeah, Cheryl, the real pretty girl, da 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 da. First of all, Robb made a face as if Cheryl isn't gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous, just naturally beautiful, excuse me. So he makes the face, and then he decides to insult Jerrold and say, so you're Mr. Sociopath. I wanted Jerrold to clap off on his ass right there, but he kind of maintained his composure for a minute. He does tell him, like, you don't even know me like that, you know what I'm saying, to be saying anything about that to me, right? So then Robb with two B's over there asking Amanda, oh yeah, I want to talk about the rooms because Becky got another bad room. Like, why you keep giving her bad rooms? And I'm like, why you keep putting your 2 cents in and don't know what's going on? Number one, when she was invited and probably got a bad room, Amanda and them didn't invite her. That was on PJ. So that's not their fault. Number one. Number two, I still would put that on her, Myami, as if that's Miami's fault over there in Harlem. Yes, true. She told the girls to not go and get a bed, okay, before she do. But what was taking so long for you to get that bed? Okay, and then the other girls went and found theirs. And when they asked you which one, or at least Bri did, because Amanda didn't do shit because she's selfish as hell. So when Bri asked you if you wanted the room, you could have took the room, but you chose to take the L. So how you gonna be mad at them? And then now this third trip, yeah, that's gonna be on Amanda. Because Amanda, this girl brought you on a trip, brought you into this house. You got a good room. She didn't even come up there and tell you to get out the room that you was in, and then you turn around and put her in there in some bunk beds. Like, Amanda is definitely giving hierarchy. It's definitely giving selfish as hell and inconsiderate as fuck, in my opinion. But that's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to watch Amanda. Because I feel like Amanda one of them low-key haters, for real. But let me go ahead and just keep going, okay? So first of all, everybody didn't like how Robb was coming at Amanda and coming at other people at the table. So Jerrold comes for Robb and Myami saying, like, you don't even know me. Like, for you to even bring up this Mr. Sociopath thing, that's something I need to have a conversation with Thailand. But for you to address me in that manner, like, that's dead. So then Myami gonna sit up there talk about some come for me, don't come for him, because he's only trying to defend me. Like, please, just come for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, girl, how is he defending you by calling this man a sociopath? What the fuck are you talking about, Myami? Sit back. Sit back just a little bit, girl, okay? And if your friend is bold enough to dish it, he better be bold enough to motherfucking take it, okay? And he's dishing it on your behalf, so because of that, they're gonna give it right back to him on your behalf. Like, are you kidding me? Girl, no ma'am. Katelyn said something, and this was the only time that I really ever agreed with Katelyn, okay? Katelyn said something like, I don't give a who he came on this trip for or what he came to do. I really don't give a fuck about none of that, or whatever she said. I agree with Thailand, okay? She called him out for pretty much being on this trip as a plus one and not giving a fuck about who he out here defending while he out here trying to offend everybody else, okay? Nobody cares nothing about that. So eat his ass alive, and I was definitely here for it, okay? Now I will say this, I have to say, Robb coming on to the show to add the mess, hand clap for him. I have to say, I have to be honest, whether we didn't like how he did it or not. He got some things turned the hell up. He did. He got some things turned the hell up. He made us go, what? Girl, how you finna react to that? He got our reactions going for sure. I do feel like there were other ways he could have went about that. You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, it was giving forceful. It was giving producer in your ear. It was giving do too much if you want camera time. This is what you gotta do. It was giving that. So I think that he still could have got the answers out. It was just how he kind of went about some of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was over there getting dragged on Twitter, girl, and then sitting up there talking about how he could beat people up and how he could fight. Yeah, I'm sure that all that you talking about is one of the reasons why you got up off the show. But we'll talk about that, okay, in just a second, okay? So Myami talking about him speaking up for her. And I'm like, but you a big girl though, okay? You talking about him speaking up for you and stuff and how you appreciate that or whatever. But I'm like, you a big girl. You've been out here handling your own. You really don't need nobody to speak up for you. Period. You held your own with all of those ladies last year. You even held your own when it comes to the NIGGAs this year. You don't need a Robb, but it feels good, I guess, to have somebody else that see things how you see it when you're amongst the friend group that technically isn't really yours. So I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Robb was doing too much and he got his ass clapped on and was getting ready to get his ass beat as well by Mr. AQ. All right. Myami sitting over there looking at AQ kind of snap off on Robb, and she over there talking about something she thinks is a bit sexy. I said, Myami, you're toxic. You're toxic. If a person snapping on your friend turns you on, you're toxic, dear. That's just what it is. Next day, we get Petiri and Kyle done showed up. Shout out to them, girl. PJ over there bothered because he trying to figure out who the hell is Kyle and who is this person over here talking to Becky, okay? You don't need to worry about it. Cause y'all let each other go. You don't need to worry about it. All right. Meanwhile, Myami is trying to get to know AQ because I believe everybody pretty much went to go hang out for that day. So once they hung out for the day, they ended up catching up, getting something to eat or whatever. And Petiri brings up the fact that AQ and Myami are a new situation. So what's going on? And they just learning. They don't know what's going on. They just having fun while they out here trying to figure it all out, right? So then Robb busts out and start asking have they had sex yet. And everybody else is like, what the hell are you doing? And then he says, that's my best friend. Everybody's like, so who gives a fuck? Even if I am your best friend, like, don't be sitting up here asking me about my sex life in front of everybody. Like, don't do that because I'm not going to do that to you. Okay? Like, don't do that because I know that Myami mentioned having her own room because when she got upset about the room situation, Marcus said you could just have my room if it's that big of a deal to you. She ended up getting Marcus's room. And that's the other thing too. If that's the case, how Marcus get his own damn room over Myami and Myami was on the show before Marcus was? How the hell that work? And who the hell does that? Amanda, that's shady as hell. And we see you. Okay? But anyway, girl. All right. And I know production didn't do that. Y'all just could not have done that, right? Y'all could not have put Marcus in a room by himself, but then gonna group Becky and Myami up together when Myami was on this show before Marcus. Cut it out. Okay. So anyway, he asked that silly question in front of everybody, which I thought was rude as hell, and I don't think she really answered it, but I do know that Myami mentioned having her own room. So with that, I mean, maybe AQ was in there, filling up, rubbing up, kissing up, touching up a little. All right. But then Robb decides to turn his head from his best friend Myami and her business and focus on Becky and bring up Kyle and PJ. Now, this whole time, Kyle didn't even know PJ was the dude that she had been dating. Of course, Becky is thinking that he knew because of the show. Like, if you watched the show, you probably would know there was something going on. But he's like, he didn't know nothing about it, so he say. And then he gonna sit up there and ask PJ, how does it feel that she's over here with somebody that's treating her better than you treated her? And he was like, well, as long as she happy or whatever. Like, just being messy. Like, you not like, why is you messy like that? Like, what's going on with you? And I feel like that was a bit unfair because you see their show, you see their lives on the show, but they don't even know anything about you. They don't have no details about you to bring to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's okay because that karma hit you. It's real quick. Like, it really did, honey. So later on that day, fast forwarding from that mess, okay, later on that day we see everybody outside in the sand. The guys are playing football. I just wanted to highlight this part because it shows how much Bri needs attention, in my opinion. Bri says that these guys are not paying attention to us. Hello, you got these beautiful ladies over here on the beach looking good, woo woo woo, la 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 la, and they over there playing in the sand. And it's like, Bri, calm the fuck down. I don't know what attention you were lacking as a kid or whatever, but you need so much fucking attention. And it's sad. The dude's been with you all damn day. If they want to take time to play football for 45 minutes to an hour or whatever, girl, it really should be okay. You had other ladies that was occupying your time, girl. All right. And while we talking about football in the sand, honey, let's talk about how Katelyn got scored on by Jerrold. And when his girl was standing up there to get him some water, he snatched the water. And when she grabbed his arm, like, don't be like that, he then turned around and snatched his arm. And see, that's what I would never be able to deal with. I don't give a how the game went. Okay, you keep that energy over there towards the men that slighted you. Don't bring that shit over here to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just like he don't care. Like, I hope that she watches this season and really see how Katelyn responds to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she's the breadwinner in that relationship. I feel like she has the business mindset in that relationship, and he would be 1,000% lost without her. I truly, truly believe that. But he ain't gotta be like she it's crazy because I feel like she spends so much time really understanding him that it don't seem like he tries to really understand her back. And he gonna sit up there talking about, no, she said, yeah, he got scored on, so his ego's a little hurt, and it's okay. He's just da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what hurt. I didn't do it. So don't snatch shit out my goddamn hand. Okay? Don't do that, because I'm not gonna do that to you. And I just felt like he didn't care about whether he embarrassed her in that moment, all because he hot, he tad, and he got scored on or whatever. Like, all because you got an ego and you feeling a way that Jerrold checked the hell out you the last time y'all was sitting at the bar. Woo, girl, misplaced energy for me. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. She over there trying to laugh it off. Girl, please, completely embarrassed. Anyway, so Myami chills with Marcus while AQ over there acting like he's asleep, but he really not, because he see what the hell going on. Marcus over there asking her, what's the real deal between you and my boy? Because that's my boy first and foremost. Boy, F you, Marcus. F you, dear heart. F you. Talk about this my boy regardless, but you didn't care about making a move on her from the very beginning. Talk about something that's my boy regardless. Boy, sit down. And Myami, you just over there really to cause trouble for real, over there trying to be a player. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what you want to do, girl, do you, honey? I guess. So Tylen and Jerrold finally get the chance to talk. And Tylen immediately starts to deflect, okay? Talking about how he said that she had a hierarchy to her friendship. And I said, girl, you do. And then somebody hold her accountable. And I said, but girl, they don't. Okay? And you deflecting. We ain't even got to go into the hierarchy. You're just using newer issues or newer events to create as an issue for your lack of an apology. Okay, but let's go back to the sociopath, because that's where we really at with it. Girl, you know what I'm saying? So she just really got on my nerves. Then time some, yeah. And then when I saw that you said that you didn't care about me, I'm like, girl, when they played the playback, I said, one, that was after you did what you did. And number two, he never said that he didn't care about you. He said he didn't care in general, not that he didn't care about you. Oh, girl, she just be, that's what I see. I can't get with a person like Tylen. You know what I'm saying? Never like to be held accountable for their own actions. Love trying to cry their way out of situations like, oh my God, I didn't do this or that. I didn't do that. And then it be the thing for me. It be you starting it. For me, you always the one that escalates stuff. You always the one that's doing too much right out the gate. And I don't like that. And then be trying to act oblivious like she ain't doing that. Girl, you did do something. It's okay if y'all argue, y'all speaking spat, but you ain't have to call that boy no sociopath. But anyway, girl, whatever. What else? And then deflecting at the same time. Like, girl, it's just too many things going on with Miss Tylen, okay? So like I said, one, that was never, like, he did that after you did what you did. Two, he never said that he didn't care about you. He said he did not care. Not that he didn't care about you, okay? Three, then she's saying that she don't know who he is. Girl, good the bye. We don't know who you are at this point. Okay? And then she has the audacity to say that she feels like she's owed an apology. And I'm like, girl, F you again. Then she want to sit up there and cry. And I felt like she ended up apologizing to him. But when I saw her tears and her crying, I felt like her crying was really because he forced out the apology that she was fighting to hold on to for such a very long time. That's what I felt like she was crying over, girl. Not because she was really hurt, girl. She was crying. She had to release that apology and that the words came out her mouth. But anyway, girl, let's move on. They cool, I guess, because he said he ain't in the business of losing friends. And, I respect him saying that, because, a lot of of people are just in the friendship and let it be what it is. Not many people are willing to, like, put in the work and fight for it. But anyway, good luck. So Robb with two B's is told that he has to leave. Girl, first of all, the producer came out looking for Robb, started grabbing Robb. Everybody like, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? People over there like, the suspense is killing me, girl. What's going on? So he goes to the back talking to the producer. The producer said all we needed to know. She said, so we run background checks on all of the cast, right? Child. Soon as she said this, girl, Robb started looking off into space and looking back on her like, dang, I was worried that was gonna pull up. I was worried that y'all was gonna see that on my record. Oh my God, I was so worried that something like that was gonna end up happening. Oh wow, I was so worried, and then now I'm probably gonna be kicked out. Oh my God, I already know where we going. It was so funny to see his face crack. Myami came back there. She asking like, what's going on? He said, oh, I have to go take care of some business. And I thought that was so funny because I'm like, if this your best Judy, the one you running and telling all your business to, that can come up here and tell everybody else they business too, then why he couldn't tell you why the hell he really leaving? Probably because the camera was there. But be authentic with yours. Talk your stuff, Robb. You should tell it before somebody else tell it, Robb with two B's. Baby boy, like, you should tell it. Okay, girl. Then he gonna sit up there. When she said, I'm really gonna hate that you're gone or whatever, he was like, girl, I really hate that I'm gonna sit up here and miss all this. Yeah, looking like he wanna cry. And I'm like, that's what you get. You done ran a fucking muck in the palace, and now you about to get your ass up out of here. Your time is up, okay? Case closed. Next case, okay? The door is closed. Then he had to go do the walk of shame, which was hilarious to me. He had to go out there and tell everybody that he's leaving. And let me tell y'all, Robb and Jerrold had me screaming because Robb, not with the two B's, but with the one, Robb sat up there and was like, what happened? Like, we just want to know, like, what's going on? Like, why are you leaving? I thought that was the funniest ever. Okay? Because he knew it was some I loved it. He asked the question everybody wanted to know. Jerrold was like, get the fuck out. Go, bye. I love the disrespect that Jerrold gave him because Robb had been disrespectful since he stepped on the show. So I absolutely loved every moment of it. And then somebody said, you all right? Cracking up. I don't know if it was Petiri or somebody asking Robb with two B's if he all right. And then he gonna look up something. Oh, I'ma always be good. I'ma always be all right. I bet you are, as you fighting back them tears, honey. As you fighting back them tears. And then here go goddamn Bri talking about something. We gonna miss you. And then everybody bust out laughing in his face. What a way to go out. Isn't that comical there? What a way to go out. Ran amok in the palace, and now you got to run your ass right out. Okay? Goodbye. If we don't see him next season, I will not be upset or about it. Y'all can take Marcus with you. Understand this. Okay, let's get to Jaylen. So he tells what's his name, Robb and Katelyn, how he's interested in marrying Tylen, but he doesn't want to do it making it seem as though, hey, I want to marry you so that we can have these babies. I kind of feel like that is the reason why he would be proposing to her. I really do. Okay, so Katelyn is not ready for marriage, so he's slick trying to encourage Jaylen to not propose to her. So Robb with the 1B agrees with Katelyn, not so much as not being ready for marriage, but Robb is coming from an angle of your girl can be a loose cannon. And I don't know if that's somebody you're going to want to be tied to for the rest of your life. So just take your time. And I think Robb was really trying to say, like, just based on Robb's personality, I could see Robb saying, take your time, make sure that's something you really, really want to do. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he came to the guys in the first place, in my opinion, showed hesitance. You know what I'm saying? It showed a bit of, he was already unsure out the gate. For me, it was just something that crossed his mind. You know what I'm saying? Not something that he ain't gonna do, I think, in the long run. But in that moment, it was just something that crossed his mind, something he thinking about, but he ain't too sure. So then Katelyn decides that he gonna start running his mouth more, talking about, my girl, we've been together for 4 years. She ain't never bringing this up or anything like that. Like, now all of a sudden she bringing it up, and I think it's because of your girl. And see, Katelyn is really trying to encourage Jaylen to not propose to Tylen because, girl, all these damn Lyns, Katelyn, Jaylen, Kylan got him, okay? So Kai is trying to encourage Jay to not propose to Ty because he knows if he does, then that's only going to make Candace apply more pressure to him, trying to force him into proposing to her. So we'll just see how that's going to play out for them at the end of the day, okay? Next thing you know, we see PJ and Becky have a sit down, and he finally gives her the apology that she's always wanted, okay? So they're good. Let's get to AQ in Myami. Because when I tell you Myami ate the out of AQ, she ate him up. First of all, he came over there drunk. And when he got ready to sit down, she said pants too tight. That was the first read. Then she said she doesn't know who titties are out more, his or his or hers. Oh, wow. Because he had the audacity to have on a laced see-through top. I don't know what he thought he was going for, but it wasn't working. Then he gonna sit up there trying to check her on talking to Marcus, right? While he was over there asleep. And then she tells him... She goes, she goes in on him about pretty much trying to check her about anything. Like, you over here so worried about, what I was doing, but you ain't really here for me for real. You here for the niggas. Your titties is out for the niggas. Like, when it was funny, but I do know Myami was trying to make a statement for the cameras for sure, but it was definitely fitting for the moment, and it was funny, okay? He goes to the and asks this girl if she for the streets. She says, no, NIGGA, I'm barely for you. And when I tell you Myami was eating, she was eating him alive, okay? Myami says that she doesn't like that he didn't apply any pressure. And here go Marcus trying to tiptoe himself over into the conversation. Like, everything okay? Everything good? It's like, why are you here? Why go away? Why are you here? So when he comes over there, AQ gonna sit up there and ask. He said something. He called her a broad. He said something like, so you gonna rock with broads like this, Marcus, or something like that. And then Myami said, don't call me no broad, baby, because I'll bitch you. I said, ooh, she was on your ass, sir. Wow. Miss Myami was not playing with you, boy. Not at all, okay? But anyway, honey, so there's that. Bri over there having a breakdown because she feel like she need time to herself. She been around people all day. And I actually felt her on that, you know what I'm saying? Not enough to cry about it, but I definitely felt Bri on that because I just be feeling like, listen, I'm tapped out too. Like, I can't, listen, I'm tired. I can't go on a trip where I'm with people for honestly a week. I mean, really 3 days is my cap, because then I feel like my social meter, like I'm drained at that point. Like, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Like, nah, this was cute, but I'm going to go ahead and head out. Like, that's what it gives for me. So I felt like I definitely understood where Bri was coming from. But then Petiri wanted to take the conversation somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Petiri wanted to talk to her about their relationship and where they're going and what's up with them. And she really couldn't answer. She was really in her head. You know what I'm saying? She was really in her head about stuff. He wanted to know, is it going to be us? Like, I'm all in. I'm trying to really do this. I want to take this to the next level. And she was just on another level with it. Like, she just, I don't know what be going on with Miss Bri. I don't know what the hell, Miss Girl. I just don't know, y'all. I don't know what she got going on, but I feel like Petiri out here trying, even with him living somewhere else, like he's out here trying. He wants to do this with you. He's willing to, put forth the effort. But child, I guess. Anyway, so what ended up happening? The next morning, Bri tells everybody she broke up with Petiri. And that's what's crazy. She brought it up at the table, but when people start asking her more questions, she says she don't even want to talk about it. And I'm over here like, Bri, girl, cut it out. Like, why bring it up if you don't want to talk about it? You're annoying, all right? So Becky and Bri, later on we see that they've actually hit a wall with each other. They are, their friendship is being challenged at this point because Becky did not like that Bri said at the table, when they were sitting on the stairs, she didn't like that Bri said that she dims her light for Becky. And what's interesting is that Bri tried to make that statement come off as though that is what other people were telling her. Other people were telling her that she dims her light. But I think that's truly how Bri feels, that she dims her light for Becky. I feel like Becky probably dims her light more so for you, though, versus the other way around. They just were pretty much, hitting heads. And I have learned this season that I agree more with Becky on some things than I do with Bri. And Becky just says we're both baddies because Bri says, I'm like, I'm a badass, B-I-T. And I'm like, and what the hell does that have to do with anything? Like, you saying it like Becky's ugly or something, or she's not smart, or she ain't got it going on herself. Like, what are you trying to say? So then, that's what Becky tells her. She's like, girl, like, we're both bad chicks. You know what I'm saying? And understand that because we're both bad chicks, we both can shine bright at the same time. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So then Bri was like, well, I just feel like it's a problem when I X, Y, Z. So then Becky said, basically what you're saying is that you can't be my friend. Is that what you're saying? So the conversation was pretty much concluded. Miss Bri ended up leaving the house. She really couldn't take the true tea that Miss Becky was giving her, and so she ended up leaving. What I hated to see was Amanda standing there, and she slick had a smile on her face a little bit, like she was glad the friendship was probably finna break up. I don't know. I do feel like Amanda don't like Bri like that for real, for real. It's something about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if she really liked Miss Girl like that. For real, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, girl, let's go ahead and keep it going. Okay, so Katelyn and Candace ended up arguing over the next step in their relationship. And that's when he decided to get the conversation off of him and to pretty much talk about Jaylen and how Jaylen was out here looking for rings and stuff, but saying that he's not ready. So at this point, Candace feels like she's seeing right through Katelyn and his BS and how he's getting in Jaylen's head, preventing Jaylen from wanting to propose to Katelyn, right? But I'm kind of like, okay, y'all both right. No need to get really upset here. You're both right, okay? Katelyn was definitely trying to get into the head of Mr. Jaylen, but also understand this. Katelyn cannot make this man change his mind for what is already set for, in my opinion. And Jaylen is not set to propose or be in a marriage to Katelyn. He's just not. He's on the same page as what's this boy name is Katelyn is, with not wanting to get married. But if that's what it's gonna take for them to get a child, then I guess I'll be I'm okay. I'll do that just so we can have a child. So when he said he didn't want it to come off that way, it's definitely gonna come off that way because that's exactly what it is that you want. You want the child more than anything. But at the end of the day, Jaylen's not ready. He's just not. So they have a basketball tournament, right? And while at this basketball tournament, the only thing I really want to talk about is how Bri has been ignoring Petiri. Petiri has been reaching out to her, trying to call her. I think he only called 2 or 3 times. She says she needs somebody to call like 7 times. What? She been over here ignoring this man. So shout out to Becky because Becky ended up letting her know that she is out here self-sabotaging. And Becky wasn't lying at all. And what it's giving me is that, Bri, you're too needy. That's why you need somebody to be here and gonna be up under you all the time and want to breathe up under you and all this other stuff. And some part of me is like, it's not too much to ask because there are guys out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it is giving a bit too needy. Especially if you ain't got nothing going on yourself. Like, you should kind of be a bit too busy for him to be up under you and be obsessed with you all the time. Which is also weird as well because what's her name? Miss Becky also said that she needs somebody that's gonna be up here and be what she said. She needs somebody that's going to be obsessed with her. I don't understand. I don't want nobody to be obsessed with me, honey. Just love me, be in love with me, be up under me. And when I don't want you up under me, don't be up under me. Like, it's really just that simple, honey. It really is. But y'all young, so y'all will learn, okay? So they do this after party after the basketball tournament. And, of course, Myami showed up with a new guy. And Marcus really couldn't take it. And I was cackling because you sit up there and you sat up there and you tried to play your homeboy only for you to turn around and be the one to get played. How hilarious is that? So Bri over there talking about Petiri, only for Petiri to show up. So Bri over there talking about Petiri, only for Petiri to show up with flowers in his hand, honey. And she got the audacity to sit up there and say she hates surprises. And I'm like, girl, not you saying you hate surprises, but all you want is effort. Like, if this is one of the ways that he shows that, like, I can't. You're making excuses at this point, okay? So he brought her 2 first-class tickets to come and see him and for him to also come back to see her or whatever the case may be. But I felt like she was so bogus at the end of the day for how she treated him. She was over there making excuses. You know what I'm saying? He over there making all of the efforts and she's still over there rejecting him. It was making me think a few things. One, do you have somebody else that you're seeing in a situationship and they haven't moved the needle on y'all, and that's probably where you rather be than with Petiri? Or two, could it be that you've never ever had a guy on the level of Petiri's level and you do not know how to respond to that? So your only excuse in response to that is to self-sabotage and to push him away. And I feel like that is what you're doing. You're pushing him away the same way you're pushing Becky away. But okay. Anyway, girl, I don't know. Some about it ain't right. But anyway, she gonna call Amanda, or at least Amanda and Tylen come over to talk to her, right? And I'm like, these are the two ladies that you should not be talking to. They started off right saying, well, you did say you want effort, this and that, but by the end of the conversation, they changing their whole tune, and they started talking about how it does seem like he doing everything for the cameras, everybody dapping him up and all this other stuff. It seemed like he just wanted the attention. And it's like, y'all don't even know Petiri enough to really, like, I don't understand how y'all are around Petiri and don't get it, but we as viewers see enough to know that he is a nice, genuine guy. Like, I don't understand that. And then y'all, you know what I'm saying? Talking about he doing everything for show. Girl, he's somebody that's from out of town. Everybody, oh, what up, Petiri? He came back. If one of your men went over to somewhere else where everybody is used to, like Robb, let's do Robb. If Robb leaves and goes over to Chicago or wherever he from, or go to Howard or whatever, he gonna get dapped the hell up because he's gonna be like, oh, what up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Whatever the case is. Like, what? Y'all just sounded crazy. I mean, it does seem like he kind of doing stuff for show. It's giving performative. It's performative. Here go, Bri. What's that word again? What is it? Performative? Performative? Yeah, say that. Yeah. That's what it seems like. It seems like it's performative. Like, yeah, that's what it's giving. Like, Bri, girl, how you gonna use that and you don't even really know what it means? Like, I cannot, okay? I feel like these ladies ain't really team you for real. In my opinion, Miss Bri, I do feel like the best sound advice you could have gotten was from Becky. Granted, Becky didn't get up because Becky didn't go check on her because of the issue that they had, the disagreement they had at her house. So she's over there talking to PJ, okay? And I kind of was glad Becky didn't get up. Like, nah, I ain't finna get up and run to her rescue like I always do. No. I'm not. So I'm going to let you figure this out on your own this time around. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. We'll see how you're going to move with that. So some part of me was kind of glad that she didn't go over there. But then when she was sitting, I guess, like a few feet away from her, just bawling her eyes out, I was like, okay, you could at least check on her now, girl. At least check on her now. But it was what it was, okay? Petiri came back so he could have a conversation with Bri, and Amanda kind of gave this face like she ain't want to move, like, oh. And it's like, girl, get your fake ass on. See, I just feel like y'all haters too because y'all ain't got no dude like Petiri as well, okay? So, I mean, I guess, honey, I don't know. I don't know, girl. These are just my thoughts or whatever. The long story short is that Miss Bri ended up sending Petiri on his way. He was trying to get through to her, trying to get her to understand, like, I'm willing to be committed. I'm willing to be consistent. I'm willing to, like, actually try this thing out, but I'm not willing to do it if you're not going to match my energy. She wants him to blow her phone up, call him all the time or whatever, and it's not being reciprocated. You want him to hit you up, but you're not hitting him up. Like, you want him to run after you. You want him to run after you, but you don't want to give him nothing in return. Girl, after a while, a dude just gonna stop. Any person would stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? If they not getting the energy that they feel they should be getting from somebody, like, girl, what? So she lets Petiri go, so we'll see how that's gonna play out. Okay, hopefully we see Petiri again next season. She just better hope we don't see Petiri with a whole new girl. Yikes. Okay, let's keep going. Becky and PJ done made up. They done shared the kiss. So I don't know if they back dating or back to being good friends. Who knows? We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball What the Hell Level Los Angeles, okay? Now, Candace, this was messy as hell of you. Candace goes to have a conversation with Ty and tells Ty what Katelyn told Jaylen, talking about, and then why would you expose this? This is what I was really disappointed in Candace. She wanted to tell her, like, Jaylen was thinking about, marrying your ass, like Jaylen was out here shopping for rings and everything and all this other stuff, but then, Katelyn got in his head and told him that he shouldn't do it. Ma'am, just because Katelyn said that doesn't mean Jaylen was not going to do it. What if he was planning to do it that night and you didn't start up here and bust the damn bubble? Like, you just don't know. So why would you go and say that? I feel like that was so messed up on Candace's behalf. And I feel like if you wanted to be mad at somebody, Ty, you should have been mad at your cousin for coming back telling you that. Then be mad at Katelyn. But honestly, what's the reason in being mad with Katelyn? Because Katelyn wasn't necessarily lying either. Because Katelyn was like, yeah, he does have his own his own relationship issues, but at the same time, he can't make that man do anything, okay? That man made an executive decision on his own to not propose, period. If he was going to do it, he would. That's just what it is. So now she over there crying and she upset and all this other stuff. And this is where Thailand takes it too far when she gets angry and it's going to mess around and leave her alone. She tells her man, F you. And then she tells Katelyn, F you. And then she says, I hate y'all. And for me, if I was Jaylen, I'm sorry, she would have to eat them words. Okay? I probably wouldn't break up with her wholeheartedly, but I damn sure won't talk to her for about a week or two. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to eat that, because I don't care how mad you get. Like, don't talk to me like that. At the end of the day, regardless of what somebody said, it's still my decision and it's still my money to do what it is that I want to do with it. And if I want to propose to you right now, I will. And if I want to wait a whole nother year, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, yeah, no, you ain't have to tell that man that you hate him, but she would have ate them words on that night for me, baby. But that's just how I feel about it, okay? I just gave you guys the rest of my review on Sweet Life Los Angeles. You guys go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know your overall thoughts and how you felt about the season and these latest episodes, honey. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.